Yo, 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 it is your boy Josh dropping in for round two of the Sacred Potato Diaries. So, if you have not seen part one, go on my profile wherever you are and you will see part one of the Sacred Potato Diaries, where I dropped in to open up about my journey as I was midway through with La Surquina, the sacred potato of the Kuntanawa tribe. So this was a medicine that was closely guarded by the Kuntanawa tribe for a long time as one of their tribal secret medicines. It's used traditionally to cleanse the body, to cleanse the organs, to cure and heal viruses and bacteria and that kind of thing. But spiritually speaking, it is regarded as a extremely high potency medicine, one of the most sacred medicines of the Kuntanawa tribe, and with the right intention, it is even supposedly stronger than la ayahuasca, according to the Kuntanawa tribe. So I'll include a little link where I bought it. You can buy it online from schnuff.co.uk. They're great, their customer service and their products are amazing. I'm not affiliated with Schnuff, but they are just great. So go check them out if you want to buy hape and plant supplies and things of that nature. So the Surquina is not a psychoactive plant. It isn't something that's going to give you visions and change your or distort your perceptions and your thoughts, etc. It's purely a physical plant, or a non-psychoactive plant that is used to cleanse the body. But spiritually speaking, so powerful and profound and beautiful and strong and light. It's got a very strong presence. So I connect with plants quite deeply, working with many different plants on a regular basis and fungi too. Each individual person will have an individual connection to specific plants. So whereas one person might work with lavender and be like, lavender speaks to me and comes to me in my dreams and it's amazing. One person might be like, yeah, lavender just chills me out. Or like one person might be like, oh my God, cannabis gives me so much creativity. You're going to ceremony and it's amazing. And someone else might be like, oh, it gives me paranoia and I never use it. So your mileage may vary is the point I'm trying to make when it comes to working with different medicines. But for me, and some plants and fungi do have sort of stronger or bigger spirits, let's say, where, if you're going to have a cup of chamomile tea, you're probably going to chill out. But if you have a cup of ayahuasca, it might give you a totally different story. With that being said, the spirit of the surquina, the sacred potato, is very powerful. It was very quickly integrated into my vision, into my kind of imaginal space, into the shamanic kind of realm that I'm constantly aware of, my aura, the world around me, the spirit world, things like that. It very quickly became, part of me as I was working with it over the course of 20 days. So the surquina definitely felt like it cleansed my body. I'm quite a healthy, clean person anyway, so it wasn't like a dramatic shift in feeling lit up and amazing. But during the time that I was working with the sacred potato, there definitely was a very subtle boost in my energy levels, feeling generally clear, generally grounded, and generally well, which I do anyway, but it was nice to have that little extra boost there that I knew was doing some good in my body by getting rid of bacteria and just generally giving me like strength and vigour. On a subtle level for me personally, but they do use this to cure COVID and viruses and parasites and things in the jungle. So again, you just have to try it yourself if you wanted to know more about that. So one thing that I noticed, you can watch this in my last video, but just like the harmonization of my inner parts, the kind of release of these limiting beliefs and blocks and energies, like real deep stuff that I've been holding on to, just effortlessly floating away. Just super like no problems whatsoever. So that was quite noticeable. It was almost like the healing and the benefits you do get from like stronger psychedelic plant medicines, just sort of in the background, casually, as I'm going about my normal day. Again, bearing in mind that the sacred potato is not psychoactive. The spirit of this plant is very strong, and that guiding force working with me just in a regular kind of day-to-day space was definitely just healing me. Yeah, really was taking things that are no longer serving me and was releasing them very simply and very subtly as well, which I liked. Because although it's very strong and powerful, and I imagine doing deeper ceremonial work with this plant would be amazing and really powerful, it just, on a day-to-day kind of taking it in, getting the benefits was amazing. It really, really did do a lot of work for me, which I'm really, 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 really grateful for. Thank you, Sacred Potato. One thing I noticed for me, I would be interested to sit with the Kuntanawa and speak to them about this medicine and see if there are any similarities or whether it's just my personal journey. I actually felt called to this plant, so I bought some and kept it for a little while. And it was when I had a dream about Haru, the leader of the Kuntanawa tribe, actually singing me Ikaros healing songs by a river in the jungle, that I knew the next morning that it was time. I do feel that from that I'm starting to see that I think it is like energetically quite a watery plant. It is quite cleansing, but there is definitely like a potency in that. Yeah, that feels true for me. Upon deeper reflection, it may be different, but we'll see. But I did notice that it started to awaken a lot of ancestral power within me. On a heavenly level, like our star ancestors, like where we came from and where my soul originates. I went through a bit of a process of awakening a side to my star ancestry that I didn't even know existed. So that was quite powerful. That was in and around the time of working with the Sacred Potato, not so much from it specifically, I don't think, anyway. But yeah, starting to awaken the power of that. So the Surakuina, the Sacred Potato, really works, I feel, by bringing like spirit into the body. I'll explain a little bit about that in a sec, but like embodiment. So it felt like the spiritual energy, spiritual power, spiritual like light, like high vibe, all that stuff isn't kind of useless per se unless it's in the body, at least for humans. Obviously if you eye spirit, then it's a different story really, isn't it? But yeah, I started to notice the awakening of ancestral power as someone who is of mostly British descent. There is a strong Celtic element to that, but there's also a slight kind of Hebrew, Arabic element to my ancestry, as well as Nordic. In this instance, it felt quite, Celtic more than anything. But what I feel like it was doing was bringing me closer to my humanity through that. Like the power of the ancestors in the most human way would be to bring us closer to, or me closer to, the idea and one step closer to fatherhood and of co-creation and embodying my anger and stepping deeper into another level of like co-creative power as a human, and like running a household and being just sort of on top of those things, or at least feeling more okay with them. So it's not to say that like, oh, I took this plant and now suddenly like my house is super clean and I'm on top of my business and but like I work from like a bottom up approach. I just alchemize until the things that I want just seem effortless. It's just the way I work. So even getting one step closer to my goals and my aspirations and my dreams is like a fucking winner for me. So yeah, it did help me feel really clear and really positive about moving forward. Next step on the journey is a load of other stuff I needed to work on, and I've been up and down, as is life, but it's been a really powerful journey through this. And I do feel that the Sacred Potato has been extremely helpful in moving through those things and getting me to where I need to be. So there was definitely this big cleanse, feeling safe and easeful and connected as I, remove these limiting beliefs and just these energetic blocks, and it just felt like a nice cleanse. Not so much like if I dry fast, I feel like that cleanses me out. Like the Surkuina, although it is quite powerful, is really subtle, at least using it daily and in that way, rather than, maybe a master plant dieta or ceremonial work with this non-psychoactive plant. It definitely felt like, as a result, for me personally, as a magician, as a shaman, as a medicine man, it really helped me connect to magic and to the plants themselves. This is kind of true when you work with any sort of strong medicine. So when people work with ayahuasca, when people work with like certain types of mushrooms in a certain way, you can really start to deepen your connection to nature, to the fungi, to the plants, and certain plants will teach you how to do that specifically, connect to nature and the plants and the fungi themselves, more than others. Some through literal like teachings, as in telling you what's up and how to do it, some through a more embodied way, and some through, in sort of the Surukuina's instances, it definitely felt like it was through the cleanse. Through cleansing, we allow the truth of our being to come through, and the truth of our being is that we are the earth, we are the universe, we are God, Goddess, and we inherently know how to work and create relationships with nature for the betterment of ourselves and the lives of others. So working with this plant really helped me tap into that. I'm always deepening my connection to the plants and the fungi and nature. It is a lifelong journey. And every now and then it goes and steps up like a huge level, and you're like, I can do this, whoa. Which, I don't think it was particularly profound, but it certainly went up a level, and I'm feeling more closer and more connected. And I feel like, although I look forward to working with this medicine again, I am in, just as always, transitional phase in my life. As life is transitional, really, it's pointless to say transitional phase, but it's like, I feel like it was profound but subtle. So I'm not here stating that like, whoa, my life has changed. But on this other hand, this is an extremely powerful medicine, and it's benefited me loads, and I can't recommend it enough if it feels cool to you. But I feel like it did set me up for like, I feel like I'm moving towards like a new chapter in my life as I've turned 30 this year, and blah 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 blah. And I really feel like the Surukuina has like set me up for that and taken me to some nice places, which has been beautiful. I do feel as well that there's definitely this like powerful spiritual protection from this plant, spiritually from the plant itself, and then also by the work that it does for you. Because for me, spiritual protection is about like the inner work. Like if you're not dealing with your shit, then you're not going to be spiritually protected. There is a shamanic and like a spiritual element to protection and intentions and energy and things like that. But I think primarily it's about the inner work, or balancing both of those aspects. But there is a deep spiritual empowerment and spiritual acceleration, medicine, energy, process, vibe from the sacred potato, which I love, because I love accelerating and empowering myself spiritually. It's fun for me. I get a lot out of it. I love doing deep spiritual work. That's just who I am. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to do that. So I'm here so you don't have to. I'll do it so you don't have to. But yeah, there is definitely a very powerful spiritual acceleration, spiritual growth, spiritual empowerment medicine from the sacred potato that is next to none with a lot of plants that I've worked with. It just seems to like set a crash course for the moon or the sun or the next galaxy over, and just takes you there really gently and steadily. Again, in this way, working in a deeper context might have different vibes. Maybe the next time I use it, now I've already used it once, we'll go deeper. But yeah, it was great so far, and like I mentioned earlier, it seems to bring the positive aspects of spirit. So like, the infinite possibilities, the high vibrations of light and joy, the strength and the power that comes from being connected to God, Goddess, or Source, or whatever you want to call it. They are all kind of in the ether. Those they're concepts, they're aspects, they're energies, they're in your spirit. But if you don't have a proper level of embodiment, there's no point in having those things, because you're not going to live it and actually like radiate it and be it. Like, you can talk the talk, and I used to do that quite a lot. but until I started connecting with my body and the actual feminine, not like the bullshit like, oh yeah, feminine, new feelings, like the real like earth kind of like blood, sweat and tears kind of feminine. Until you get that on the go, like that's where spiritual power, like, you know, you got like planting the seed, you know, if there's not fertile soil, it needs to grow. So it's like the positive aspects of spirit or healing or, you know, that kind of realm is brought into the body. Like that's kind of how I feel the sacred potato works, by connecting you to source and then drawing that into where your body needs it most. So it could be like your emotions are feeling regulated, you could have new ideas, your limiting beliefs are removed, your level of embodiment increases. So like I said, like it would be nice for me to say like the sacred potato has saved my life, dude. But at this level, it's taken me down a really nice path. It's helped me achieve a very nice and profound and powerful next step for me. There's still loads of stuff to work on. There's still loads of stuff for me to do. But I can certainly say that since beforehand, I'm feeling ready to tackle more challenges. I'm feeling safer in my body. I'm feeling able to just be like, okay, don't need to rush and achieve millions of things. I'm like that anyway, but I'm just not being as hard on myself for it. I'm able to just comfortably take the steps I need to at my pace, on my path, on my mission. And I'm feeling good about it. Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. And it's taken me into a nice place with my practice. I'm sort of deepening into a more embodied level of prayer, and prayer is just a form of magic, or can be a form of magic, and I'm sort of just about to open up a whole can of worms prayer wise, I think. And I feel like the sacred potato, like I said, was the foundation for me to step into like the next chapter of like practice, of power, of service. And I don't think I would be here if I didn't have this sacred potato cleanse, which ultimately was opening me up, you know, like this lotus flower, although it's a potato, this potato flower, unto source, unto my power, unto light, unto like this, the sunshine kind of vibe, you know? So I cannot recommend the sacred potato enough. Like, if you connect with medicine, if you are embodied, if you work with spirit, if you know how to feel subtle energies and differences and whatnot, get on the sacred potato. It will cleanse your body. It's just it's always good to cleanse the body. But if you know how to work with it, it just feels like there was just this really powerful guiding force with me on a daily basis. And when I kind of suffer with like spiritual OCD, like I was checking my energies, always making sure everything's safe, like spiritually. Like most people imagine OCD is like cleaning your house. I like clean my inner house a lot if I'm feeling deregulated, you know. But having La Surquina with me, the sacred potato, it just felt like, safety. Like I didn't have to check, in with energies and the way things are sort of modulated and set around me, because it's like the sacred potato was there like, you good, do this, do that. I'm alright, yeah, cool, alright, sweet. So it's like a really safe, powerful presence that will bring a lot of like healing and transformation for those who are ready. So I'm going to leave a little link down below for you to check out the sacred potato. If you liked this video, then hit like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or share it with your brothers and sisters on the old interwebs. Put it on your story, give it a little share to someone who might like it, bookmark it even. Put a love heart in the comments and a potato emoji if you're feeling frivolous. And if you have any questions or just wanted to chat about it, then I would be happy to do so. So hit me up. I'm Josh. And it has been a pleasure sharing this experience with you. And I do hope to see you all soon. Peace and love. Yeah.